Hi, it's Emily or Emmy Rose 22A. Welcome to Crafty Accountability, a place to keep me accountable on my crafty adventures while sharing them with you. Today is Friday, August 20th, 2021, and this is episode 11. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad to be back, and I'm glad you're back here with me. I just want to thank everybody who's watching these. I really appreciate your support, and I would love to know if you have anything to say, any comments, any suggestions, things you'd like to hear more about, anything like that. Just leave me a comment down below and I will absolutely get back to you. You can find me on the internet I'm most active on Instagram, which isn't super active, but I'm working on it. I am Emmy Rose 22A over there, and I do have, I'm trying to keep my projects on Ravelry. And I'm Emmy Rose 22 on there. I know there are some accessibility issues with Ravelry, but I haven't found another platform for myself that works for kind of what I need. It's perhaps the lazy way out, but I don't know. I don't know what else I can do for myself right now. It's one of those where it's going to take some work to try to set something else up. And I either have to work with what I've got and be less than happy with the overall quality of it, or I do nothing and everything falls apart. So I'm learning that I need to go with what works versus maybe what is ideal in places where that is possible. So yeah. Oh, I wanted to start by talking about what I'm wearing. I've got a new t-shirt, and you guys can't even see the logo, but to have the camera low enough to see it, you wouldn't be able to see my head. So I'll just stand up and show you. It's Humankind, Be Both, Be Human and Be Kind. It's from the Edify collection. We went to a local craft show thing. I'll talk about that in more detail later. But this top is from the Edify Collective. I think I said collection. It's collective. Edify Collective. And their kind of motto is, through our socially conscious apparel, we want to create unity and speak up for communities that need to be heard. This shirt is from their Unity collection. Edify Collective was created to help shed light on the tough topic of racism and social inequality. We believe that using your voice to speak up and have tough conversations with those around you is going to help change the future. The clothing we design is meant to help create conversations to inform and enlighten others on the change needed to stop racism and all other equalities in our society. 15% of all their proceeds go towards charity. Like I said, mine's from the Unity collection. They have a few different designs of different tops. They have one that says Unity. There's another one that says something about together. And then I chose the Humankind, Be Both. It's a beautiful mint green. This fabric is so soft. Oh. I got the extra large, which fits pretty well. It's a little snug in the sleeves, but that's standard for me. I have larger than average arms, I guess. But the fabric is amazingly soft. And I have washed, and I do hang dry and hang dry, and then I lightly fluff with the heat in the dryer my clothes. So it has been lightly dried, and I don't know that it shrunk any because it fits okay. I will put their website down below. Oh, they also have a mental health collection. I believe they're working on. They only have one design on there. It says therapy is the new wave. It's cute. And trying to, while these are trying to help with racism and social inequality, the mental health is to promote mental health and normalize that, which I strongly support. Their website is Edify-Collective. I will put a link to that down below so you can check it out and maybe get a shirt of your own. I believe they are a smaller organization and local. I'm guessing it sounds like they've kind of been, their reviews and stuff are only from this year. So But it's a great cause and an amazingly soft, comfortable shirt with, I think, a beautiful message. I think we should all be kind to everyone. So, and like I said, I love the mint green. So when we saw this at the craft show, I had to have it. Okay, on to the crafting. My works in progress, my first one I'm going to share with you is my Twisted Tea shorts. I'm not quite as far as I had hoped to be today. I was hoping to be to the leg split, which is to me a funny description. You're used to be into the sleeve split instead of but since these are shorts, it's going to be a leg split, and this is upside down obviously, but this is where I was last week. So I have made a lot of progress from here all the way up. Based on what she has in the pattern, it kind of sounded like they might be a little high rise. I've measured kind of from the top of where I like my pants to sit, which is just below my belly button. I measured kind of to mid crotch. And her pattern said for my size it should be 13.5 inches for the crotch rise, and my measurement was 11.5. So I knit to the 11.5 and kind of did a try on. Well, and I measured a pair of my yoga pants. I laid them down and kind of measured the crotch rise on those, and it was also 11.5, so I felt pretty good about that. But when I tried these on, the front kind of met where it was supposed to, but the back did not. I have a large booty and I need a little more fabric to kind of cover that. So I am adding another inch. I kind of thought this one through because if I had 1 inch, it's 1 inch in the front and 1 inch in the back. Well, that's not an inch very clearly, but it's 1 inch in the front and 1 inch in the back. So it's 2 inches towards meeting in the middle, so I decided to add 1 inch. And that's where I'm working towards now. I'm almost there. I think I'm 2 rows away. I will try them on again, see if they meet sufficiently to be comfortable. And if not, then I'll add another inch or half inch, whatever I decide from there that I think I need. And then I'll be splitting for the legs. So next week I should definitely be close to finished. I'll absolutely have one leg finished. I'm pretty sure I'll be very close to being done with these. The test this is a pattern test. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. The pattern is the Twisted Tea shorts by Briana Luppino of the Little Wolf Knits. And this is a pattern test, and it is due, I need to have my pictures and everything in by August 31st. So I do need to get a wiggle on. This did set me back a couple days in my little chart, but that's the beauty of having my little chart that I talked about last week. If you're curious what I'm talking about, I do an Excel spreadsheet and break it down into sizable increments so I know how I'm staying on track. And that's one thing with that. I know that the increases I've had to do have added 2 days to that. So now I know, based on my 30 days, like today is the 20th. So if I'm on day 20 right now, then I'm set to finish by the 30th, which is not okay. So I need to work ahead a couple of days. And I've been trying to do that with adding my length. I misinterpreted a portion of the pattern for that, and so I had to already add like 8 rows to get to my 11.5 inches. I read a different measurement. It was for that section, not the total, and I thought it was the total. So I had to add some inches for that. And then I've had to add more because my measurement wasn't correct. And I say quotes because it was my front measurement, not the whole measurement. I guess that's kind of hard to measure your full rise from your back to your front, but I guess that's what I should have done, is where I wanted it to hit in the back and in the front, and then measured that and divided it in half. And maybe I'll have to try doing that and seeing if that would have worked. Anyways, it's fine. It's not the pattern's fault. It's my body and my fault. So, and that's not my fault. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, having my chart makes it easy for me to see where I need to kind of buckle down and speed up a bit. So I will be on track. And like I said, today's the 20th. So I guess next weekend will be or next Friday will be the 27th. So I'll still have the weekend to finish it up and take pictures. I'm not sure what we're doing for pictures for that one. My husband and I have kind of been talking about it, and I'm not positive. For my 2 tops that I've finished, we've done pictures at my parents'. They have a beautiful yard with trees and stuff like that, so we've used that for those pictures. But I'm really not positive how I want to take pictures of specifically bottoms. I've only done the tops, and I'm not used to having my picture taken at all. So even doing the photo shoots has been a step outside my comfort zone. It's been great and amazing, and having my husband take my pictures for me has been like key. Like, it's necessary. He's so cute. He takes the picture, like he'll be taking some pictures like, oh, that's a good one, and like it just, how can you not feel good when that's what your photographer is saying? So I know several people have to do their own photos and stuff like that, and I guess I'd figure that out if I had to, but he really does help me to keep going, and encourages me to try different, poses, looks, things. Some of them don't turn out so great. Some of them do. We definitely get some good pictures. So, like I said, we'll see how taking pictures of bottoms goes. On to my next work in progress. I did start my next pattern test, and this is the Trillium skirt by Azramati. And this is as it might sound like, it's a crocheted skirt. Bottoms again. With this beautiful, its feature, Trillium is, 3, this beautiful triangle motif. I think you can see that. There we go. Oh, there you go, wall. Be useful. I'm not very far, obviously. And this is out of, I didn't talk about the yarn for my twisted t-shirts. Heavens. My twisted t-shirts are Knit Pick Stroll Tonal in Pearlescent for the waistband and Seashell for the main portion of the shorts. This is Hobbii yarn. It's their rainbow cotton 8/8, which is a DK weight, I believe is what it's supposed to be, light worsted DK. In the, what color are we? Silver gray is the color. So they don't put the names on the ball bands, they put the number. It's color 14, but the website has names, so. And this skirt is meant to be either like a lingerie piece or a swimsuit cover-up type piece, which is more how I think I'm going to be wearing it, at least this time. She is working on a top, so I'm kind of hoping if I get this done and I'm successful in this test, then I will most likely be chosen to test the top as well. So the top, if I get the top done, it'll be more of a lingerie style piece. I'll probably still wear my swimsuit bottoms under the skirt because it is very holy and see-through. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. It's really cute. It's a fun pattern. You'll be seeing more. This one will be done next week. I believe this test is due the 27th. So, but I crochet so much faster than I knit, and this is a larger yarn, larger gauge, and so it's way less stitches than the shorts. So, this will be done by next week, so I will have a finished object to show you, and maybe some pictures. I don't know if I'll put the pictures on here. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do all of my pictures for these because I'm not sure. I'm a larger girl, and while I don't mind sharing the pictures of myself in a more like, you know, bathing suit-ish outfit, I'm not sure everybody wants to see that. So I will be sharing them over on my Instagram. Like I said, I'm EmiRose22A over there, with a warning that if you don't want to see me in a bikini, then you don't need to swipe. But if you want to see how it looks on a larger body for an idea of how it might look on if you're built similarly, or if you are even just a larger person, how it might look on you, then you have the chance to look at that. I like the idea of I don't know about embracing like who we are right now. I have been this size for I think about 12 years now. I'm not thrilled to be heavy, but it's who I have been, and I don't want to discount who I am for who I could be or punish myself for not being there. I've said before that I am trying to work on my health. I am hoping that maybe a little body size change might come from that, but I am not doing super drastic measures at this point. Like I'm not doing like a hardcore strict diet or even a hardcore workout routine. I'm just trying to get into something that works for me and helps me make progress. Small progress is still progress. And I heard a new quote this week that I am loving, and it's from Tony Robbins, who I've totally heard of, great inspirational, motivational speaker guy. He says, progress equals happiness. And along with like, even small progress is progress. I love that, but even small progress can mean happiness. And I feel so good about my walking, and I want to do it every day. It was downpouring yesterday, so I did not get to walk. And that was like a disappointment for me. I didn't know what to do with myself yesterday morning. Oh, these cats. Yeah, it's morning time again, so we do have the cats. I have not heard the jets yet. They might not be flying today. I'm really sorry about that last week. Oh, I've lived here all my life, so my husband has lived in Layton with the jets for I think 14 or 15 years, and they still bother him. And you heard me, like there were like 4 jets that flew over, and I didn't even pause. That when I was listening through while editing, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so loud. I guess it's like what you're used to. So anyway, so I don't know if I'll share pictures here. I'll probably talk to my husband about that and see if that's, you know, what he thinks, what his opinion on it is. I mean, I guess if you're here and you want to spend time with me, then maybe you just get to spend time with all of me. I don't know. We shall see. Next week we'll have some kind of answer. I'm not sure where we're doing pictures of that one either. I want something more because I'm wearing it as a swimsuit cover up. I'm gonna wear my 2-piece swimsuit and have that as a skirt cover up type thing. So I would like something watery. We've talked about a few options. Our reservoirs and stuff like that are super low right now with the severe drought we've had this summer, or this year, I guess. It's not just the summer. So we don't know. There's one that's fairly close to us, about a half-hour drive, and that's where I was thinking I wanted to go, but if it's just too low, when the water gets low, it gets gross. Like your beach is really nasty and stuff because all the dried up stuff ends up there. Surprising. So we may take a drive up there and see how it's doing, if that's gonna work. We do have friends that have a pool, so we might try seeing if we can use their backyard for a photo shoot. I am 99% certain they will let us. They are amazing people, so they would be completely on board with something like this. So we'll see. You'll find out next week what we've done. You'll get to see the finished skirt and possibly see it on me. We'll find out. If you have any opinion on that, you can let me know down below. I'd be glad to hear it one way or the other. Just like no, like nice comments only, please. Constructive. Like if you think that stuff should stay private, then that's fine. If you're all about all of it, that'd be good to hear too. That's about all I've got on the Yarny front. Sorry, words are tricky apparently. And I forgot my sewing project. Just one sec, I'm gonna go get it. Of course for you, you won't even know. See, you didn't even miss me. Several years ago, like a long time ago, JoAnn's had some fabric that was, what you bought was, it was this, it's ruched at the top, and there's an elastic ruching here, so this is like your bust, and then it was just long. And this was back when I worked there, so it's been a while. But these fabrics went clearance. They were kind of, in my opinion, overpriced. They would make quick maxi dresses. And there were a few different styles because this one's got the elastic here and the elastic here. And then you're like loose, you're kind of gathered loose in the middle. There were ones that were like ruched the whole way. This is a knit. There were some cotton ones. And I think for the size of dress I would have needed, because you just would buy what you needed around your bust basically. It would have been like a yard and a half, and they were like $20 a yard. So I really wasn't, that's to me is a little pricey for just a simple knit dress in my opinion. But then when they went clearance, they ended up being like $7 a yard. So I bought like all of them. And then they sat forever. And then I think it was last year or the year before, it's been at least a couple of years, I just sewed them all out. I had 2 of them sewn up because I would wear these to work with a cardigan over them, a little cardigan or jacket, since they're, you know, kind of, they're not spaghetti straps, but like my bra straps barely, you know, sometimes they peek out and stuff, so that's not super professional, but I would wear them to the office job I had with a cardigan over the top. So they were cute dresses, but I made all of mine ankle length. They were long maxi dresses. Well, this fabric, because it's black and white and I found it so like versatile and useful, I bought 2 sets of them so that I could switch out wearing them, because I was wearing a black and white one like once a week and I didn't want it to wear out. But I didn't work that job anymore. I had 2 matching dresses and that was unnecessary. So I asked my niece Crystal, she's now 15. I believe she was 13 when I asked her, so it's been a little bit, if she would like my other dress. And she said yes. And of course she wanted it shorter because she's shorter than me anyway, but she wanted hers just below the knee, kind of for like a swimsuit cover-up type dress. So we cut it off at the knee for her, and I took in the seam because she's smaller around than I am. And so she had a cute little swimsuit cover-up dress. Well, from the part we cut off, and this is going to be hard to tell if that's what this is because I've taken it back apart, but I had made, this was gathered up, I took the cut off and I made a little dress for Tabitha. So she had a swimsuit cover-up because I was using, mine is a swimsuit cover-up at this point, so Tabitha and I had matching swimsuit cover-ups. And like I said, I made this we wore it to swim lessons last year. Yes, we wore it to swim lessons last year. And when we tried it on this year, the elastic at the top, what I did is was the finished bottom. I just serged the bottoms. I didn't hem them or anything. You can't tell at all looking at it, and way easier than hemming. So I just serged the bottoms to kind of finish it and keep it from rolling. And I just folded down the top and made a casing for elastic to go in. And then she has just her own little spaghetti straps. So when I tried it on this year, the elastic was too tight for her. Oh, it goes up under her arms, it was too tight. So I thought, well, I can just cut a V in the back and do like an elastic closure and give her that little bit. Well, she needed like 4 inches, which is way too much for just a gap thing. So, and the straps were sewn in on top of the elastic. That's just, I had them as high as they could go. So I had to take off the straps. I'd sewn the elastic in on the end, so I had to unpick the elastic and take it out. I've cut a bigger, because this is like really big. She's I think she's right around 20 inches under here. Like loose, nice and loosely, she's 20 inches on her upper bust, I guess that would be considered. And I think this is like 40 inches. So there's plenty of like gather room. So I cut a new piece of elastic and I cut it at 21 inches, so it'll be nice and loose. And to kind of further that, what I'm going to do is put a button on one side and do an elastic loop on the other, and I'll make the loop a little bigger, and I can knot it to make it smaller, and so I can expand it a little bit so we can get a lot more growth out of this. Because even having the button done up close, it'll fit for this year, and then I can expand it as we need to going forward. And then this was a little short for her, at least this year. It kind of hit her maybe upper to mid thigh, so I mean it barely covers her booty. So I have the piece that I cut off the bottom of, I didn't finish. I decided I wanted mine shorter for a swimsuit cover up, so I cut mine off to be knee length. And the piece I've cut off from that, I'm going to gather and add as a ruffle to the bottom of hers. So hers will be longer, and I'll cut it shorter so that I think I want it to hit her maybe like mid calf, so it will be a little bit long this year, but then with the growth potential, it should fit her. And then I think I'm going to make her new straps too, because her straps are just, it made it so that this came just like right to under her armpit, so that doesn't give her a lot of like torso growth. So I think I'm just going to add like an inch at least. And if I have to, I can always just like tuck this, tuck the back in just a little bit so that it fits her now, but I have that to let out as she grows. I feel like a good swimsuit cover up is kind of like universal, and mine will fit me forever. So we can be cute twinsies. So my dress is finished. Like, I don't have any pictures of me wearing it, but I mean, my dress is, I measured up, cut off the bottom and serged it. I'm just curious if you can I can tell. I serged this one in white, that's what was on the serger, and I serged the original in black because that's what, I think the black blends better, but I don't think as far as the dress goes, you can super tell the difference. So, and it's a swimsuit cover up. Well, mine could be worn as an actual dress, and so could hers. I mean, there's nothing saying it can't just be a little dress. So that was what I worked on. I usually do my like me sewing at my mom's on Sunday. I made dinner this week, so I didn't have a whole lot of like me sewing time while Dad and Tabitha were playing. So, but I did get that done so that I could work on that a little more. Obviously, I didn't get a whole lot of progress done on that one, but I've made a little bit of progress on my project bags. Not a lot there either. I'm getting close to having my prototypes done. They will meet the August 31st deadline for sure with getting them done. I had wanted them to be like ready to post, like ready, not that I will be posting them by September 1st. I wanted to have like pricing and stuff like that figured out as far as ready to post. I still need to figure out shipping and order shipping supplies and stuff like that, so they won't be ready to just list right away. But I will have them ready. I say because I've got those 2 pattern tests due. I also have a 3rd one, but it's not due till September 5th, so I'm kind of like putting it off. Spoiler alert. The 3rd one is an actual knit bikini, so it is not a whole lot of knitting either. Like, there's just not a lot of fabric on a bikini, so I feel very confident that that one should fly once I get these other 2 taken care of. So I'm kind of putting that one off, I will say, until one or both of these wrap up. It kind of depends on how my progress on these goes. The skirt has to be done next Friday. The other one has to be done by the 31st. And as you know, I'm on the edge right now with the shorts, so it depends on how ahead of schedule I can get as to when I'll cast on for the bikini. So I'm pretty sure you won't see that next week. I think it'll be after that. Anywho, so I've kind of got myself super booked for August. And I kind of knew that when I signed up for all of these, but I really liked them and wanted to test them. So I just need to keep that in mind with my future testing schedules. I do have a lot of things I want to work on for myself, so I just don't know that I'll be so test heavy perhaps, but it depends on what comes up and who's designing it. I love working with these designers, so I really like helping them out. Like I said, I will have hopefully if I get selected, I will have the top for the skirt, so that'll be fun, and that'll be a quick one too. It's a crocheted top, and especially after I know I've got gauge and I know my hook size and everything from the skirt, the top will go a lot quicker. So that's about all I've got on my crafty makes for this week. I do have some acquisitions, well, not a ton, but I do have quite a few. I've got them in a bin over here. So we went to like I said, a craft vendor show this last weekend. It was put on by an organization called Craft Lake City, and it was their DIY fest. In my opinion, the name was a little misleading because it's called the DIY fest, but they were art and the vendors were the ones who did the DIY, not the attendees. So beautiful artists of all types, fiber, jewelry, ceramics, fine art type stuff, so much. We bought a decent amount, not everything we wanted, but a decent amount. I closed my notebook, and I'm sure to forget something if I don't have my notebook here. So I'm hoping having, so I'm going to say obviously one of the things I got was my t-shirt from the Edify collective. There's his card. I don't know how focused that is. I have cards for everybody for the things we got. Let's see. I bought this beautiful, I believe this is an original because they looked different. She does prints and she does originals, but this is from Papillon Skies. And I just thought I think it's beautiful. It's about 5x7. And she calls this Moonlight, and she gives you a little story behind the art in each piece. And it says, I love winter in the mountains and the contrast provided by the snow. This piece is my first experiment with gold leaf. Anything seems possible in the stillness of the night. The earth is calm and your mind becomes clearer in quiet moments. So I think that's a beautiful little story. The colors are gorgeous with the blues and the gold contrast. It's your forest and mountains, which is very, very typical Utah. So we picked this one up. It is a smaller piece, so a little more, I'm going to say reasonable on price, but her work reminds me of it's an impressionist type style. I don't know if that's what she deems herself, but I was telling my husband that once we get our remodeling done in our main living areas, I would love to have a bigger piece, because she does have some that are they're beautiful, and they're because she has the impressionist style. I'm a huge fan of Claude Monet, and some of her color inspirations, not the actual composition of the paintings, but some of just her colorings are reminiscent of that to me. So I think I would love to have one of her big pieces. And if I'm going to spend money on a large piece of art, I would love for it to be a local artist. I don't know that she has, Andrea Hardman is her name. And these are her little business cards. You can find her on, and I will link to all these down below too, at least to their Instagrams and websites if they have them. But this is her business card, little square, and look at it. It is a print of her art. on the other side. How fun is that? So Tabitha got a little piece of art. She was pretty excited about that. And it's nice to support, like with all of this, we love supporting small business. We love supporting local. It is also Black owned. So, I mean, there's that element as well. The next thing I want to share with you is some yarn. There was a yarn vendor there, and it's a new to me local dyer. I don't know how I love Utah indie dyers, so I don't know how I've never heard of Llama Lovejoy. Caitlin, she was very nice. She's fun to chat with, and her yarn is beautiful. The first one we got is a mini skein set, and this is called Drizzle, and it is your kind of blues and greens, and my husband chose this one for him. He wants something out of it. He's not sure what. We're gonna have to kind of look at patterns and see like what he's got in mind, whether he wants a hat or a cowl. That's usually what he wears. But if you look in his closet, I think he's got, like, this is the color palette of his like polo shirts. He's got at least 5 different shirts in these palettes, and he's probably got all these colors. So it's not a surprise to me that he chose this. It totally goes with what he has. The next one we got is from her. It's from her Knit and Lit Club. I didn't even realize this until I was going through and looking at the colorways. This is from The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I had never heard of. It's by TJ Klune. So now I'm thinking I need to perhaps read the book that my yarn is inspired by. If you look at the cover, this does very much, I can totally see where the inspiration came from. We just really liked the colors in this, and I loved the corally yellow, or orangey, not yellow, orangey highlights. So I don't know. This is mine. So I kind of see either like a shawl or a cowl with, the contrast striping in. So, and then just because it was pretty and we wanted it. He and I both liked this. Under the Sea. He's a great one to take yarn shopping. My husband is a great one to take yarn shopping with me, because especially if it's local dyers, if I like it, he's like, get it. That's why we got so much. But I just think that's super pretty. And I know I have some other, I believe I have a Wonderland Yarns that's perhaps called Under the Sea, and it's super duper pale colors. So I'm curious to see how they look together. Maybe they'll be friends for something. So that's what we got from Llama Lovejoy. I'm really excited to have another Utah dyer to add to my list. The next thing we got, we knew we wanted something. This is Peruvian Craft Studio, folk designs by Esther Marino. She's a Peruvian grandma who does gorgeous work. She does some like thread paintings that are just stunning. Beautiful embroidered flowers. She incorporates her weaving in them. They're stunning. You should check out her website if you're interested in anything like that. But she had some llama stuff, and I call him an alpaca. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell what he is, but that face, oh my goodness, he was just so happy and so bright and cheerful. And his little blanket is hand woven. I'm not sure if the felt balls are handmade or not, but and then to accent him, he's got the beautiful felted balls, and this is a actual pom-pom. But it's just, this one hangs on a cord. It's gonna hang on a board in our bedroom, so I can see him every single day, because like I said, his face just makes me so happy. And so she had some smaller pieces like this, and then she has the gorgeous big, larger picture size with the embroideries, and they're typically like Peruvian in theme, and the one I know was a woman, I believe she's like picking flowers, so she's got the huge basket on her back with just flowers flowing out of it, and she's got her, like serape on, and it's woven and textured, like layered. Oh, it was stunning. Like I said, here's her information. She doesn't have a website, I don't think. I don't know. She's on Instagram though. You can see some of her work on Instagram. There's a fly, sorry. Beautiful, beautiful work. So they also had, and I'm not sure who made but they had wood carved nativities that were beautiful as well. We weren't in the market for that, but we kind of have that in the back of our head that we may want one of those at some point. So it's one of the things I think is fun. You can buy, like at a craft show, you can buy something smaller, but you get their information. I'm following all of these vendors on Instagram now, so I can see what they're coming out with that's new. So that's kind of fun. And then the last thing I have that's here is part of the reason I have this in a bucket and it's falling now because that was on the weight bearing side, and my cards are in there. Just a sec. Poor planning. Our friend Rebecca, we call her Brobecca. She works with my husband, and she's become one of my fibery friends. She does weaving, and she has Reba Weaves. I don't have a card, but my cute little things came in this cute bag stamped with her information. And again, I'll link to her down below. She also embroiders, and she is, I'll have to pull them out, or you will see them when I get my pretty wall behind me. Sorry, the cat needs to get by. And I put my bin in his way, and heaven forbid he can't walk over a little bit. But she has, the past 2 years, she has embroidered me a little embroidery with my word of the year, and I knit her something. So she had posted some of her embroidery makes on Instagram, and I loved them and wanted them for gifts. So this was the first one I saw, and I believe she watercolored the fabric. And so I got this one for a gift, and then I asked her if I could get a second one, and this one is on a pretty kind of almost, it reminds me of like a rainbow colored background, and the magic coming out of the wands is sparkly. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if that comes through or not, but it's a wand with magic in the always. And then language alert, if you don't like language, I won't say it out loud so you don't hear it, but my husband also decided that we needed this one for a gift for someone. I'm not naming names because they may watch. I don't think they do, or I wouldn't have shown these, but I thought that was really funny, and I know the person it's for will super appreciate it. We also bought, I think these are super clever. With her weaving, she does fun things like she puts them in magnets, or she puts them in note cards. I know she has an Etsy store, so I will link to that down below. But this one, my husband said looked like a Scotty dog, so we had to get this one. And then these I think are super fun. She had these little vintage TV frames that she put her weaving in. So this is a woven, actual like fabric woven piece in the frame with the magnet on the back. For those of us that are old enough to know, it looks like either static or, you know, the off the air. Some of them are a little more stripy, and so they kind of look like, you know, that emergency broadcast that you would get at the colored bands with the different colors at the bottom that you would get, you know, at the end of the night when the station went off the air. So I thought these were super cute. So we got just a couple little magnets to support her. She does beautiful scarves and blankets, and like I said, I think the note cards are super cute if you're in the market for like a special note card. I love note cards like that, like me personally, because I think if I were to receive one like that, I would frame it and have, because it's basically a matted piece of woven fabric. So I mean, that's matted art. I would frame it and hang it in a cute little craft roomy thing. So that's what I have on hand to actually show you. We did get some handmade soaps from the Hive Mind Apiary. They keep bees and use honey in a lot of their soaps. We got 5 different scents. And they're nice big bars, so I'm pretty excited about those. Because the bars are like yay big, I think we're gonna cut them in half so we can share them with the family. We got some strawberry rhubarb jam from Butcher's Bunches Handmade Preserves. They have their website, or they do sell at Pig in a Jelly Jar, which is a restaurant here in Utah, which we really enjoy. They have very, very, very good chicken and waffles. That's what I get every time I go. And then I believe she said her jams are also in our local Smith's in their cheese block. So that's kind of exciting, and we love a good strawberry rhubarb jam. The other thing we got that we don't have here is from Oakmont Needle, Felt Foods and Faux Bakery. She has the cutest little felt baked goods. We got Tabitha an assortment box. It has a couple of donuts, 2 chocolate chip cookies, 2 sugar cookies, and a brownie, I think. I'll insert a picture in just a minute, but of the box so you can see what's in it. And it just so happens that my mom just finished turning an old wooden chair into an oven stovetop for Tabitha for downstairs. We have a cabinet that I believe my grandpa made for us, for like me and my sister when we were little. And she's been playing with that and kind of pretending like the top is a stove. And so my mom made her this little stovetop, and she just got that like 2 weeks ago, I think. Like my mom got it finished and put it downstairs. And I will insert a picture of that also. Tabitha's got her brownie down there. And you can see the cabinet with the stove right next to it. And my mom, oh my goodness, she mounted brackets and put an easy bake oven up at the top. It was my niece's easy bake oven. My niece who's 27. It was her easy bake oven, so it looks like a microwave. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So I'll put those pictures right here. And you can see her with her cute. She was baking. There are carrots in front of the baked goods in the oven, and the oven door does close. But she was baking for Dado downstairs. And then the other 2 places that we saw things that we did not buy from, but I liked them enough to get cards, was the Wishing Forest. Beautiful work with stones. Oh, they love doing the Tree of Life. It's kind of their theme. She has little like pendant things that are yay big, that do the wire for that are twined together for the trunk, and then they come out into the circle with the stones that make the tree, that are beautiful. And then they actually have sculptures of trees where all the leaves are little not gemstones, they're the stones, and they're set on a bigger piece. Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful work, so you can check them out if you want to. We would like at least 1 piece, maybe more. But with our renovations, we just don't have anywhere to display that kind of stuff. So we're trying to like not just get more stuff to store until. Did you see that? I saw that on the camera. The fly coming at me. But we took their cards so that we can. Like they have a website and everything, so we can maybe get something when we're ready. And then the other one I very much enjoyed was Allison Christine Art. She is, and I apologize if these aren't focusing, I don't know. Oh, I guess I need to put them over my face. Maybe that's how they focus. So sorry if many of these didn't work. I will have links down in the description box to everybody. But she is an illustrator. And she kind of specializes in fantasy illustration art. She would like to do like cover art, and I was completely drawn to her booth by her colors. They're very like, galaxy oriented, blacks, purples, blues, turquoises, that kind of stuff. Just, I mean, that's a fantasy theme, and her characters were just stunning. Lots of different like iterations of characters. Some of them had ram's horns, some of them had antlers, some of them were just elves with the beautiful ears. Just lots of different things. So we were kind of near, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted her exactly from there. She does have some that are more like almost like tarot card sized prints. And I think having like a deck of the characters would be super fun. Just right off kind of looking, I didn't see all the characters I would have wanted, so I haven't been to her website to look. So, and I don't know if I would just display them or kind of have them. I'm not positive what I would do with them either, but really pretty artwork. I think most of it's digital art, and she does prints. So, check her out if that's something that might interest you. I thought this was going to be a short episode, and here I am. I don't know how I chat so much on what I feel like is so nothing. So like I said, I will link to all of those vendors down below, so you can check them out. Craft Like City is doing a winter fair in Ogden. I think it's December like 3rd and 4th or something like that. You can check out Craft Like City on Instagram. I'll link to them also, so you can follow for that. I'm kind of excited to see what they do for their winter fair Christmas holiday thing. So we will probably go to that. Not sure what that was. I thought it might have been we're waiting for a call from Seattle Children's Hospital to schedule a consultation appointment for Tabitha, so I didn't want to miss it if that's what it was. For my personal message, I guess, for this week, I'm going to keep it, that part is definitely shorter than last week. I just wanted to talk about the 5 love languages. I don't know if you've heard of the 5 love languages. There is a book by Gary Chapman that talks about the 5 love languages, and if you go to 5lovelanguages.com, the number 5lovelanguages.com, you can take a quiz to find out what your love languages are. The 5 languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. And he developed these, or came up with using these. They're kind of designed for relationships, but that's not the only thing they're good for. I wanted to take the quiz. I'd seen people talking about their love languages and whatnot, and so I kind of wanted to take it, and I wanted to see what my husband's was. And part of the reason for me wanting to take it was to be able to tell him what mine were, because I was pretty sure I knew what my main love language was. And it's not inherent to him to speak my love language. But I was also pleasantly surprised that even though I was pretty sure I knew what his was, like actually hearing and seeing what it was has helped me to incorporate that more. So his is physical touch. And I was pretty sure about that. He is much more of a I need a hug kind of a guy than I am. So, which just kills me, because we're not like, we don't hold hands, stuff like that. We just don't. We are both like independent sleepers. We don't cuddle in bed. We want our space and whatnot. So I guess to me it isn't obvious that like physical touch would be one of our things, just because we're not one of those super touchy-feely kind of couples. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're just, that's not how we roll. But after seeing that, I now know a little more. Like when he kind of gets that little bit stressed out, I can offer him a hug, and it means so much more to him if I offer him a hug, or give him a little, squeeze or pat or something like that, some kind of physical touch to show him that I'm aware that he has a need or whatever. And so I just think it's helpful to know that. And I didn't fully expect it to kind of resonate with me. I use the word resonate a lot. I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I really like the idea of resonation, like, a bell resonates and kind of the ripples on the water. Anyway, so So I didn't fully expect that. I think I went into it more thinking, see, this is what I need kind of a thing, as opposed to, but I mean, that's what a relationship's about, right? That not only is it like, help me, but I want to for you. So, I have tried to make more conscious decisions to be more physical with him, like as I believe he needs or wants it. And that helps, that shows him that I care. So, and mine is words of affirmation, which I was pretty sure would be my love language. I lived alone for quite a few years, and doing things around the house was really hard for me, because who cares? Like, there's nobody here to say, wow, that looks nice, or anything like that. So my niece, who is now 27, she was a teenager at the time. We had a system and I would text her when I had done something, and she would tell me that I did a good job. If she happens to watch this, she can tell you what she says. That will be her comment down below. That'll be the little secret that I know that she's watched this. So I was not surprised at all by words of affirmation being mine. I was pretty sure, and that's what I needed. That's why I wanted him to see, because he doesn't always, it's not that he doesn't like show appreciation, but he doesn't always say it. And the words of affirmation have kind of, it's not just like somebody saying good job, I have figured out for me. It's kind of me saying good job, and I don't know how exactly it associates with the words of affirmation, but I believe it somewhat does, that my visual cues and helpers and trackers and things like that really speak to me and really help me to see what a good job I'm doing. I have my fitness watch, my it's a Mi, M-I-I 2 is what mine is. I believe you can't even get a 2 anymore. I think they're to a 5 or something like that. But it's a very inexpensive like step tracker. It does heart rate, it does sleep. When we got mine, the Me Too, and this has been several years ago, it was $22, which is part of why we chose it. I really just wanted a pedometer and a time-telling device. And this has a clock, or a watch, and a pedometer. That's all I wanted. That was it. So that's why we got it. I got a Fitbit. That was my first fitness watch. And mine was part of the early ones. And it had the problem where it was a one-piece unit, and where the band met with this piece, the glue basically came undone. My sweat, I guess, ate away the glue, and it was coming apart. And I was 1 month out of the 1-year warranty, and they wouldn't do anything for me except give me a 25% off a new watch thing. And I'd only had it for a year, and it was like $140. I'm like, this is not a disposable watch. So, and they knew it was a known problem. That's my biggest thing, is it was a known problem. They knew they had poor manufacturing on these, that they didn't use adhesive sufficient to hold them together, because it was a really big problem. And yet they wouldn't extend the warranty at all. If you happen to get in before the year, they would, I believe, I don't even know what they did for people. I'm assuming replace it or repair it or something, but they would not on mine, so I refused to buy it. We ended up having a friend who had a Fitbit that they were getting rid of, and we did a trade for a tablet or something that we had. And I wore that one for a while, and it too, the glue deteriorated and fell apart. So I refused to go the Fitbit route. Their apps may be great, and like the interactivity with them and stuff, they're really easy to use, stuff like that, but no, I won't give them my money. I'm not buying a new watch every year. I'm not spending $140 a year on a watch. So $22 was perfect. I believe the new ones are like $45 or $50, but even still, that's not a bad price. And mine, I'll show you. It's modular, so the actual fitness tracker device is just this little piece. And this set of bands that we got for it, there were like 8 or 10 in there, all different colors. Because my original band wore out after about a year. the the rubber plastic, whatever, deteriorated and it split. So we bought me the new colors, and I've kind of been working through them for the past couple of years. The biggest weakness point in my opinion is this little flappy that holds your strap down. Mine splits right there. So, but whatever, $10 for new bands. I can afford that even once a year. If I had to spend $10 on a new band, I'd be okay with that upkeep, not $140. Anyway, the app shows you can look at a daily history, a weekly history, or a monthly history, and just looking at how few steps I was doing in June versus kind of picking up in July, when I had decided that I wanted to have more movement, versus August when I started walking, and just it almost like chokes me up. I had a really hard time in June, and that's when I decided I wasn't going to just kind of like sit around and I guess mope. And so I wasn't moving a whole lot in June. I wasn't very active, or like I said, didn't have a whole lot of movement. So I knew I loved seeing that in July, when I had decided that wasn't who I was and that wasn't what I was going to do, that I did improve. And then in August, with me starting walking, it's like a huge improvement, and it just makes me want to walk more. Like, I want to walk. So, but the other kind of thing I've realized with the visual cues is negative visual cues. I will, like, for me, I'll go a month without cleaning my toilet, and we have hard water with lots of minerals in it, and we get this orange mineral buildup in our toilet bowls when we don't clean it for about a month. And that really bothers me, seeing that. And I believe every time I look at the toilet, I'm like, I need to clean that. And it just, the voices in my head just talk about, yeah, but you're a horrible house cleaner, you're too lazy, you just don't take care of your stuff, no, you just don't care. But when I walk in there, after I clean the toilet and it's sparkling and white, every time I walk in the bathroom, I get a little rush, and it's like, oh, look at that, look at my toilet, it looks so good. I think my husband just got home. Yeah, so the cats just had to run, sorry. And so I think it works both ways, that I leave things in piles to give myself the negative messages, and then when I clean them up and see them good, I get the positive messages. So I'm trying really hard to eliminate those negative messages. Small steps, again, small progress is progress. Progress equals happiness. So just little things, little messes that I look at multiple times. Like every time I walk in the room, I see it and I think, I should take care of that. That's such a mess. Anybody coming in my house would say what a mess that is and whatnot. So I'm trying to take care of those little things, just one at a time. I've got an overwhelming amount of them, which is partly one of those cycle things where it gets overwhelming, so you don't do anything, it gets worse, you get worse, it gets worse, you get worse. At some point you have to start chipping away at it, and that's where I'm at. I'm at the chipping away phase. And everything I chip away at makes me feel better. Even if it's opening 5 pieces of mail that have been sitting there, those 5 pieces of mail being gone, well, I still look at the pile and say, I still have a stack of stuff that I need to look at. And anybody who walks into my house would look at that pile and be like, dang, you got a lot of crap there you need to take care of. But I know I've taken care of part of it. And my dishes will get completely out of control. Dishes are my one spot that I can take care of. Every dish in my house has a home. So my sinks could be completely full, countertops stacked, and I don't find that overwhelming because I know everything has a place. I can take care of everything in those sinks, on those counters, and it will be put away and taken care of and done. So I'm trying to take that knowledge and apply that elsewhere. Things have homes, or they need to have homes, and I need that clearly defined, and I need it in a system that's easy to follow and easy to do. And once I get that system set up, because even with my mail, I'll let the mail sit. I just went through literally 2 months worth of mail. I had a stack literally like this on my counter, and it was falling over and falling on the stove and whatnot. So, and I went through it, and do you know what? I have a system in place for that. It's not the best right now because the system is the filing cabinet that belongs in the office that's not finished, so it's in we haven't bought the new filing cabinet yet, so it's in a file box. The file box is stacked in stuff in the craft room. It's kind of full already, so it doesn't have room for the new stuff. So my system kind of fell apart, which is why the mail stacked up. But now, every day I get the mail, I deal with it. I open it, I either put it in the pile that goes to the file thing, which I have organized in a special place, or I put it in the pile that needs to be dealt with. And I'm going to try now, like I just went through the stuff that needed to be dealt with, you know, whatever it is. I have a magazine that I'm getting. I got like I don't know how they chose me to get the magazine, but it's not something I'm interested in, so I just want to tell them, don't waste your money sending me this, because it's not really something I'm interested in. So like that, I need to take care of that. That's something that needs to be dealt with. Bills that need to be paid. So I'm hoping to deal with those weekly like I had before. But I'm on top of it, and I get the mail every day, and I want to process it because I don't want that stacked back. So I'm trying to eliminate, like chip away at the visual things that create negativity. I can't fix it all at once. So I'm just trying to get at some of the little things. The Mindset Mentor released an episode this week talking about kind of that, giving yourself the dopamine highs. He uses some different examples, but for me, I really think that's what those visual things are. So I'm trying to figure out different ways to incorporate different visual cues, like checking my walking thing. I still haven't set up my visual trackers in my planner, but I want to. Things like that just help me every day see the progress that I am making. I need to be able to see that I'm making progress so that I can keep making progress instead of making progress, which is small progress. And like I said, anybody walking into my house would think my house is a mess, a big cluttered mess. But I know it was worse. So I need to be able to see that I am doing something. So I'm trying to come up with the visual cues. Now that I know that they're so impactful for me, and seeing an area tidy and organized versus seeing an area a mess, or even just the small things. Like we painted with Tabitha, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and we put her paintings out to dry on a table. They're still there. And every time I look at them, I think, oh, I need to put those paintings away. It's gonna take me like not even 5 minutes, so why haven't I done it? Things like that it's like, just do it. So I'm trying to be much more like, just do it. And I make my lists, and there's things I don't do. I told you with my planner last week that I still have some stuff from May that I put on a list that I still haven't finished. I am trying very consciously to go back every day and do at least one of the things that's on my list of not urgent but want to get done things, so that list, it's now onto its 4th sticky. I want those stickies minimized, eliminated. If I see something that needs done, it's okay to put it on an extra list. It doesn't have to all happen today, but it needs to happen instead of going on a list and never getting done. I don't want to be that way anymore. So I have to figure out how to not be that way, because I've been that way for at least the last probably 20 plus years. It's who I was. And I say that because it's not who I am. So I think I'm going to leave you on that note there. Sorry it's not a shorter episode. I thought it might be, but it's not. Might even be longer. I don't know where I've broken it up into pieces. I can't see the total time. And I will just keep coming back every week. You can join me. I guess if I'm too long for you, that's fine too. It's really helping me too to share all of this and get it off my chest and get it out there into the universe for whoever wants to see and wants to know what's going on, I guess. So it is helping me that's why I keep doing it. I didn't have a whole lot of like fresh and new crafty content this week, but I knew I wanted to sit down and have a chat with you guys. So that's where we're at, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. If I can't keep it short, I can't keep it short. It'll be long, some might be shorter, we'll have to see. So I'm excited to come back next week with at least one finished object. I haven't had a finished object in a while. We're going to be changing that next month. I've got definite plans on that front. So I guess we will see you next Friday. Have a rosy ray day. Bye.